Hey everybody, welcome to a great edition of Mogul Live here today. I'm James Pratt. Hope you're having a great afternoon or a great start to the day, wherever you're from. Very, very excited to talk to David Koechner today. He is our guest. Before I bring him in, I can see he's in the chat. David, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction. For anyone that's sort of thinking, I've heard that name, who is that before? Let's have a quick look just at David's career. I think everybody would have known Todd Packer.
Karen Filippelli, Jim's girlfriend.
John, I want you to talk to yourself now. This is you at 14.
You're out here, you're selling drugs, you're having sex with grown women. Straighten up, right now. Before it's too late. Stop and stop selling drugs.
So if anyone wondering what was that noise, that was basically just some of Reboot Camp, which we'll talk about with David. Very, very funny in that. Nightly Crypto, that's a very kind comment. Thanks very much. 385 people in the chat, 428. We're really climbing. Great to see everyone in the chat. David, Michael, Tim, everyone, great to see you coming in. Just on the screen now, though, just another one of David's titles, Get Smart. Very funny film, and also another collaboration with Steve Carell. I think just quickly I'll show one other one that I think we'll be able to have a chat with David about. Actually, I'll show two. We've got Anchorman, great films. Everyone probably have a few questions about that too, just with David. And just one other question, one other asset I'd love to show you guys, just in relation to what we'll be talking about today, is just Reboot Camp. NFT event coming up on the 16th, premiere of Reboot Camp, Sydney Lounge in Hollywood. And of course you can see David Lipper as well. We had so many different people already on the show just talking about this film. So that's a quick snapshot of David's career. Just a few. Isabella, great to see you coming into the chat. People from all over, which is great to see. So I'm going to get David in. Let's see how we go with connecting him today. Actor. I'm very excited to have him here. Nightly Crypto, thanks for the comments. Any questions you'd like to ask? Hey, David, great to have you.
Here we are.
I was going to say, I tried to compact a very decorated career into about 2 minutes just before. So I snapped over a couple of your films, but if I'd got anything wrong, let me know.
Those things don't matter.
Okay.
I appreciate you. I have over 200 different productions under my belt. So if I was in the wrestling world, I would at some point have been a champion. But the only thing that matters is this. The only NFT available is from this film. Reboot Camp.
And I'm really excited to talk about that. This is the, for anyone that's just joined, Taylor, Michael, I saw a Pac-Man shout out just before. Reboot Camp is offering first ever NFT event in Hollywood on the 16th. For anyone that's kind of thinking, what is an NFT? David, what was your sort of first reaction to hearing about an NFT?
Of course, like most people, misunderstanding.
Sure.
And what it is a complex field, yes, and so it's a complex and exclusive field, right? So
yeah.
now you so most of your viewers already have a grand understanding of what NFT is, correct?
Correct, yeah. And anyone sort of wants to ask questions, they can as we go in the conversation too.
Yes, absolutely. It's an amazing thing to be on the tip of the spear, and you, sir, are on the tip of the spear. I'm not even sure it's a spear. Oh, so it's more like a so I don't know if your viewers know what Battlestar Galactica is, but I'm sure they know what Star Trek is. So this is light years stuff.
Yeah,
NFT, how do you describe NFT?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and there's more and more people jumping in the chat. So for those people that just joined in, talking with David Koechner about the NFT event and Reboot Camp, an NFT non-fungible token. So this is like owning the digital version of the very first asset. As an example, Mogul and Reboot Camp on the 16th will be auctioning off some limited edition deleted scenes from the film Reboot Camp, which David is in. We had Nicole Aniston, we had Chaz Bono, we had David Lipper, we had Jess Belcom, these other NFTs that will be going off. These are limited, obviously.
That is a day and a half from now.
Yeah, exciting. This is first ever for Hollywood as well, so we're really excited.
Is it really?
Yeah. This is going to be the first event of its kind, and also this is obviously just the first of many coming up as well. So we're really excited. Your NFT in itself, David, can you talk a little bit about that?
I'll be completely honest. I don't know exactly what it is.
Okay.
I'll say that, so, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to do a lot of different productions in my life. So I work in TV and film, and my thrill is to participate in everything that comes my way. So this Reboot Camp came my way. I was delighted to do it. I worked, I think, 1 or 2 days, and then I saw the movie. It's delightful. And then the thing is, like, I didn't even know all of the amazing people I had a chance to work with. It's like almost like a lightning round. It's almost speed dating.
Yeah.
And then this film kind of blew up in the festival circuit because it became an easy audience favorite because it's a fun comedy. And then we found, so David Lipper, who was the producer, director, star of the film, found you guys. And then, so you tell me from there.
Yeah, and I mean, Lightning Crypto's just updated us a little bit about these NFTs that are going to be auctioned off. David Lipper's actually chimed in. It's you saying you'll break stuffed.
He's a liar. Hold on, he's a liar.
Nightly Crypto, there are 4 scenes of David on Mogul's site, all behind deleted scene clips of him from the film that didn't make it.
All right. I forgot that. That's the point. These are things that were not in the film. Got it.
Yeah.
So this is all of this is a new world to me, as perhaps it is to, no, your viewers, I'm sure, are more up to speed than I am regarding this particular world.
Yeah, so I think the exciting thing is for anyone that's kind of thinking, okay, well, what is these NFTs auctions? What is Reboot Camp? We can sort of go through that now and kind of get everyone all set up. But basically, for anyone that's wondering, the movie Reboot Camp, very, very funny. David's one of the outstanding actors in it, one of many.
Wait, 1 second. Let's back up and repeat that.
The whole sentence?
I'm joking.
David's one of many stars in the film, and we're going to have a NFT event.
I'm joking.
But, no. I think
you're awesome. You are awesome.
I think our viewers are really excited. So, can we talk a little bit about the film as well? A little bit about the film.
Of course.
How did you get involved in Reboot Camp?
It came from my agent. And then so, I have a background in improvisation. And so this was a film that was framed, it's kind of like a Curb Your Enthusiasm type picture. And then, so it's going to be improvised. You're going to be allowed to play. So I'm interested. It's just a couple days. And so it's also in Los Angeles. So I'm like, why not?
And what was the, I guess, how would you describe your character?
So I would say it is a version of me.
Okay.
Is, a lipper expanded version of myself. So whatever David Lipper needed as an expanded version of myself, David Lippert being the star director of the picture, so to serve his purpose.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking to Jarul recently, and he was saying that the scene that you guys improv.
Question: Did you get a word in?
I think I got enough. I think I got enough in. I got enough in. But he was just talking about the scene that you guys did together as one of his favorite. I mean, you guys just perfectly meshed and came up with that scene on the spot. This is, for anyone that's wondering what I'm talking about, the opening trailer in Reboot Camp. It's very, very funny, where he basically talks about a 14-year-old version of himself. How was working with Jarul in that scene?
Well, here's the thing. He and I met the first time that day. We're thrown into this thing. You're not exactly clear what it is, but you're allowed complete freedom. And so it's an expansive exploration of comedy within some guide rails to serve the purpose of what the picture is. And so, to me, it's like, wow, what a gift.
Yeah. And
So,
what was it like?
Go ahead.
You go. I was going to say, and what was what were the takes like? Did basically Evo just give you guys complete freedom to kind of improv the scene, or was there still parameters?
Well, no, complete freedom, and then in my head, I can't speak to Ja Rule's mind, but in my head, I'm trying to think, what do you need from me, right? But there was just really a broad availability to play. So David's telling me what they need, so I'm in service of that, which I'm fine with. So if you're inviting me to come and play, I'm so happy that I can't stand it. And then as it goes along, it becomes more and more kind of ridiculous and meta and available. So it's I guess I said freedom. It's rare that you're able to meet a star director who understands what they need and is available to what you're going to bring and allows you to play within the parameters that they give a wide. You got to do it, and then you're
sure.
Then they take whatever they want from what you gave.
Yeah, guys, anyone that's joining, you can ask any questions to David Koechner as well as we're going, because there's more and more people jumping in the chat.
Let's ask him. Let's answer.
I was going to say, I'll run through David. I'll run through a couple of questions that's come up. Not
yes,
crypto. David, show us your art. That's
art. The one behind me. Hold on, let me.
Let's see what we have.
I just realized my phone is about to die. So this art behind me, that one. So this was that's from the UCB. So the UCB in Los Angeles closed, and then Matt Besser gave me that one. It's from I don't have it in front of me. The artist, but it's clownish. I love clowns. I'll show you that one. I should if my phone holds up. I love Commedia dell'arte, and I have several collections of clowns. So a lot of people are I'm going to say inferior to clowns. I'm inspired by clowns, and if you have time, my phone doesn't die, I'll take you upstairs to several wonderful pieces I have of. So do you know what Commedia dell'arte is?
For the audience and myself, can you fill us in?
Yes. The Italian comedy. So this is the expression of and the creation of what archetypes that we all see in every comedy today. So if I could start on page 1, how much time do we have?
I tell you what, I reckon we're gonna get through a few questions. So let's start and
No,
see how
wait,
far
no,
we
wait.
go. But I'll
There's
throw some.
three.
I've got some
No,
questions
no,
coming up as well.
no. There's 338 pages, and I intend to read all of them.
I think. How about this? I'm thinking, David. I'll meet you halfway. What about we do a page for a question? I'll ask a question from one of the audience, and then you do a
Yes.
page.
And I'm
How
going to
about
go
that?
upstairs. No. I'm going to go upstairs and show you my. I think I've recharged enough. I'll show you my statues. Go ahead. I'll answer the question.
Okay. As we're walking, I've got a great question from Gaurav. What do you think of the NFT space? Would you be interested in doing more NFTs?
Well, who wouldn't? Only a fool would not be
Great.
more interested in NFTs.
Great question, Gaurav. Nightly Crypto. Let's have a look. What do you think of Mogul?
I'm, in a word, excitement.
Incitement. Okay. Where are we at the moment, David?
So my living room, that is a 6-foot porcelain statue of Punchinello. So there are 7 different characters in the Commedia dell'arte. This is Harlequino, but this particular one is a Harlequina. I don't know if anyone is interested, but of
I
course
think if anyone's interested, they will definitely ask a question. I had another question that kind of just came up from further. Will you be at the film premiere on the 21st for Reboot Camp?
absolutely, of course.
Okay, that's a great
I'll
question
take
there.
this. Try to keep me from it.
Okay, we've got more questions. TMTZ, hi, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat.
I have more pages.
All right, so what have we got here, David?
Yes, sir.
What page are we up to here? As we're going question for a page.
I have another book.
Okay, we've got another
So, Commedia. Here's the interesting thing is, the conflagration and unique experience of Commedia and NFT. So, for instance, this particular image, right?
You
That
can see it. Sure.
It's singular, and to present a singular image, as I'm going through my Commedia books, these are moments in time, correct?
These are all moments in time. Yeah.
Moments in time. So these books to me, the Italian comedy, Commedia, these are moments in time to me. So these books represent a 500-year tradition of moments in time. And they are also reflected in the film, right?
Right.
Reboot Camp. So 500, so before these ideas were cataloged, they also existed 2,000 years before that. So these are Italian comedies, but these things existed thousands of years before that in Greek comedies. And then they also are exampled in Reboot Camp in present day comedies. Because when I don't know if how much you know about Commedia, but there are about 7 archetypes. There are only so many archetypes in comedy, and we see them again and again and again. And all of them are displayed in Reboot Camp. And that's the beauty. So you can buy a 3,000-year-old idea updated in this present day comedy that is Reboot Camp.
So anyone that's kind of just joining in, we're talking NFTs. Reboot Camp premieres on the 21st in Hollywood. David has confirmed he'll be there. More and more people jumping in the chat. You've got a hi, David. How are you? This is Hair by Harley. It's Marianne, she says. If you
More
guys
questions? I'll take questions.
Questions here. Let's have a quick look. And Nightly Crypto, that's a good comment that you've got. You could literally be an NFT. David, you should sign to be a global ambassador. My question is this. I'm going to throw some names at you
Yes.
from people you've worked with. I'd love for you just to give some insight in what it's like working with them.
Yes, I'm ready.
What's it like? What's it like working with Steve Carell?
I've known Steve since 1991, so that I think is 3 years.
Okay.
So I'll say this: Steve is probably the most glorious master of improvisation I've ever witnessed. And as time has gone on, Steve's artistic expansion has only been more impressive over the years. Also, so people like to say, what's he like? And I will say this: he's as good a human as you hope, and better.
That's a great rap. Nightly Crypto has just mentioned David at the premiere. If I get an NFT, we got to do a tequila shot.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you and your tequila shot. I will take a shot of water.
Okay, there we go. Nightly Crypto. The Office, another one. I had a ton of questions coming earlier. I could just see your experience working on The Office. I think Todd Packer is just an icon. You can't miss him basically in the series. What was it like playing Todd Packer?
So the entire concern of The Office, for me, looking at it, is a dynamic and a psychological and physiological and metaphysical concern that usurps any comedy I've ever participated in, and perhaps any sitcom that has ever existed. I mean, it is rare. It's so the word phenomenon is overused, but in particular to The Office, it is beyond phenomenon. I do a lot of Comic-Cons, and people's personal relationship and experience, unlike I have ever witnessed. And I appreciate it. And so for them to understand, for them to appreciate Packer at all. So Packer shows up in 2 episodes per season. That's all.
Unforgettable episodes too. Sure.
But the looming idea that Packer may show up is, I think, the something that people, I don't know, experience. Like I don't, like I don't know their experience, but I know in the show they talk about it a lot, right? Have you watched it? So you haven't watched it like people have, right? I have.
The Office.
Right.
Yeah. No, I've seen plenty. I got a second question with that.
Yes, go ahead.
If they do I guess a reboot or a continued
They never
season
will.
of The Office.
They never will.
What's Todd Packer doing now? What's Todd Packer doing? Your character, what would you say he's doing now?
Well, I pitched a show of Todd Packer and Dwight Schrute on the road.
Okay.
Because clearly Dwight Schrute hates Todd Packer. But the only reason they put him on the road with Todd Packer is to try to rein him in, correct?
Right. That sounds interesting. Very interesting. How far did you get with the pitch?
That's it.
Okay.
So I pitched it to someone who was, I don't know how far to go. Fuck it. I pitched it to the showrunner. And you know what? They're in control of what they want to do with it. I would say this. I believe and I want to hear your audience respond. Should there be a Todd Packer singular spinoff? Let's watch what happens.
All right, let's see in the chat. We've got 479 people in the chat. Todd Packer traveling beet farmer. Okay.
No, that's with Rain. So just Todd Packer traveling salesman.
Do we have any of the other cast of The Office?
We don't care.
Here?
For our purposes right now, for you and me and our audience, what say you, Todd Packer show?
Well, we've got 808 Miles. 808 Miles is saying yes. The Wilder Times is saying yes. The Office Alliance, absolutely.
What would it be? So Todd Packer has to go into all of these offices, and then he has to alter his approach. So all of the persons that he used to be able to manipulate, he now has to manipulate in a different way. So that's the show.
Yeah, I mean, Nightly Crypto is just giving you something. Thinking, what about this? Todd Packer selling a digital product like NFTs on the road.
Of course. And also, Packer doesn't understand it, but sells it really hard.
Here's a show. That's very fun, actually, David. That I definitely watched that. We've got one from James. Todd Packer spinoff, yes, but solely if I can be a staff writer on it. Okay, James.
Well,
I'll leave that.
Prove yourself.
Okay, we got hi Danny, you're hysterical. Thank you for doing what you do. Thanks very much, Marvel guy. Yes. That's another one from the audience coming in. I think that's PW Squat Shadows. Hope I got that right. Ellen Rossigino says hi, David. So plenty of
hello.
If one more question with The Office, then I want to single back to Reboot Camp. Guys, yes. Come in with any questions you like. When you're shooting The Office, the character of Todd Packer, who does he hate the most, and who would he be? Who would be his closest ally? Do you think, apart from Steve Carell, as a character?
I don't think Packer. The psychology of Packer is his own family, and so sadly, he hates the relationships he has, because in the deep down psychology of Packer is he hates himself. So anyone who has agreed to be in a actual emotional or contractual relationship with him, he then has to hate them, right? Because they would try to change him and love him, and he doesn't understand love. So those are the persons. So we never met his wife, and I guess they referenced his daughter. So it's a really
there's a lot of subtext there. There's subtext.
It's so Packer has an intestinal pain that he will never investigate, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't ever look at hate. So Packer would say, I don't hate anybody. And he'd go directly to the bar, right? To refuse to recognize his own persona or his own, to witness his own pain. He would never do that. So you're saying, who do you like beyond Michael? My guess is he likes Jim because Jim seems to be the most powerful person in the office, right?
Oh, he stands out, as the male, absolutely.
So the other PowerPoint in the office would be Jim, and that's the person he also takes on, right?
Yeah.
So I would think that the reason he takes Jim on is because he respects him, and he thinks he can charm him.
Yeah. No, there's some great scenes between you and Jim as a John the actor. Quick questions coming through, and then we're going to circle back to Reboot Camp, because that's the very exciting we've got coming up on the 16th and the premiere on the 21st. David's NFT. For anyone that's joined us, mogulproductions.com, have a look at the NFTs that are going to be available. David, here's a quick question. I want to make sure I got this right. PWS Squatch Studios. Do you think Jan and Packer would have made a good couple?
Jen?
Jan.
Oh, well, Packer. Well, no one would make a good couple with Packer.
Okay.
Packer is only about. Packer is transactional, and so Packer would absolutely accepted a relationship with Jen, but it would have been on his sad terms, and it would have been short lived because if she was seeking love, Packer would have said, "Of course I am too," but it would have been transactional. He doesn't care.
Right,
I'm not
right.
talking about me. I'm talking about Packer.
Yeah, Todd Packer. Willie's come up with an idea for you. Todd Packer, traveling porcelain clown salesman.
Nice.
That's a good one. Thanks,
The
Billy.
problem with that is most people don't know what porcelain clowns are.
Willie, I'll leave that to you, Willie. If you know what that is as well.
Well, he's talking about the clown, the porcelain clowns I showed earlier. That's a callback,
Okay,
and we appreciate you.
Willie, these are great questions, by the way. Samurai 33, David, do you remember Boston Fan Expo? We met there. You are amazing. I was the girl that asked about the uncle ear. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you, and
Uncle
yes,
ear.
of course.
Okay. Dr. Vine, David, thank you. You're very deep, a very deep moment. Packer goes to the cellar for Schrute Farms would be hilarious. What would Packer's life be like outside the office? These are a lot of questions here, guys. This is great interaction.
So Packer's life outside the office is, as I said earlier, it's transactional, willful, and it's experiential. And so, in the weirdest way, Packer does live moment to moment. So the irony is that we all want to have present time awareness. And so Packer has present time awareness with an obstinate and
I think Packer's life is obviously motivated by well, you'd know better than anyone, David, but motivated by his own needs and wants, I suppose. Selfish, but great character. I'm going to circle back to Reboot Camp really quickly because we've got a couple of questions that just came in as well. Reboot Camp, will there be a sequel? What would you like to see in a sequel?
I hope there's a sequel. I know there are talks of a sequel. I would see, what do I want in a sequel? I want to see more of me in a sequel.
Sure. Sure. Well, you're funny in it. Can we talk a little bit about, as well, shooting it and obviously Evo's directing style? You've worked with a lot of different directors. What was something great that Evo did shooting Reboot Camp?
I would say freedom. So, I guess that's it. That's the word, freedom. And so it's kind of a documentary style picture, and so your parameters are open, and they just let you go. And there's I guess the other word would be trust, which is
Because you guys,
unique.
were you guys improing all the scenes, or was it still?
I can only speak to what I did, but yes.
Okay, that's a freedom right there. I really enjoyed having a chat with Evo too, just learning about. He worked, and it sounded like exactly like you said. He's very much like an actor's director, giving people the opportunity to do what they like.
That's rare because not everyone understands how to direct and capture that style. So that's rare. So and it's also very magnanimous to release to the performers to create. So there's not an ego component. There's trust, and like I said, being magnanimous and allowing those to participate in the creativity and saying, I trust you to bring what you bring to this thing, and I invite you. I mean, that's and not everyone can do that.
Yeah,
So
and obviously with some of the other productions you've done as well, have you found that any of the other films you've had freedom like that?
Only Anchorman 1 and 2.
How free was shooting Anchorman when you shot that? How much freedom did you get?
Well, what we would do is we'd shoot the script, we'd do 3 takes, and then we would open it up. McKay would say, "Let the squirrel out of the bag," and then we'd improvise and see what we got.
And how many takes of improvisation would you guys do? Because there'd be a lot left on the cutting room floor, I'm sure.
I cannot remember. I guess the answer is this: enough.
Okay, sure. There's so many questions coming in, guys. David, it's been a while. Much love. Hope the family as well. That's from Talon Carnes, Nightly Crypto. Think of all the memes that Todd Packer and Champ have. Imagine owning the next great meme of David Koechner from Reboot Camp. That's what you can own with these NFTs. Great point there, Nightly Crypto.
Only from Reboot Camp. So you can't own the other ones. So anything I've done before, they've never had this offering. So this is a singular offering from Reboot Camp.
Yeah, and anyone that's late into the chat, we're talking about a day and a half. Reboot Camp will be opening up NFTs from the film, which one of the stars is David. He has his own NFT. Chaz Bono, Jessica Belkin, Nicole Aniston, David Lipper. There's other NFTs you can bid on, but this is a really exciting thing for Hollywood too, to kind of unload and unleash into the industry. More questions. Ellen, I've liked Packer and other characters like the Goldbergs and schooled Bless This Mess. Beauty of Being Alive. David, you've been into Kroger's lately. You've been into Kroger's lately. Okay. I'm sensing that you know some of these people here. James, who talked about writing before. John Lee's creative partner, Nancy Howard, is a great director of improvised, semi-scripted comedy. I'm going to run through again. You can ask David any questions you like. We've probably got about 10 more minutes, if that's right with you, David. Have we got you for 10 more minutes?
I do have to pee, but yes.
Any question's a good question, whether it be about the NFT event coming up. We've just covered a little bit about The Office, Anchorman, Get Smart, Steve Carell. Miss Marissa, David, we met in Phoenix after your show. You've been my friend, life advice, and changed her life. Thanks, Miss Rell. Best role of all time.
That's less a question.
I'm reading a lot of the love you're getting as well, David.
It's very nice.
Okay, I'll ask you this. How do you look at comedy in Hollywood at the moment and the sort of movies and TV shows they're making? What's your reaction to the current lineup of films that Hollywood's making as far as comedies?
Okay, my reaction? Apparently they think that's what will sell, right? So I can't have a reaction. If that's what they feel will bring a profit, that's what it is.
Sure. Is there kind of like where you think Hollywood is funnier, say 5 years ago? Or do you think the film's coming out?
You're asking me? 5 years ago.
5 years ago, 4 years ago.
How about 20?
20 years ago.
Tell me what your
thoughts are. Yeah.
What it comes down to is, so my life has been on stage. And so my drive is to do what my great philosopher teacher taught me. Treat the audience as poets and artists, and then they have a chance to become them. It is rare, the comedy that does that. And I am resistant to otherwise. Now, that does not include popular comedy. If we look at the most popular comedies on television, they are not necessarily aspiring to the greatest intelligence. So that's difficult for me to booster or participate in. But then as an actor in Hollywood, you have to have a job. And so you endeavor to bring your purpose to those things.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, you have to lean towards you have a job at one point of it, but then other times maybe people don't think it's as funny. I saw a great question come up there. I think they were talking about love to see you and David Lipper back on screen together. That would be great. I mean, Reboot Camp 2, that would be a great thing as well to get. What was one of your favorite
I would
roles?
say David and I, the two Davids, did not have enough time one-on-one together. Now that, I do believe, would be very interesting and powerful.
Reboot Camp 2. I feel like there's momentum there. Okay, I'm going to throw these quickly out to you. What was one of your favorite roles to prepare for? That was from The Wilder Times.
To prepare for would be Extract. It's a Mike Judge comedy. It's a very different character for me. He was very more buttoned down, quiet, and insistent. I could have done it for 20 years. It's so fun. So that one to prepare for was that one.
Okay, perfect. And follow up as well. The Wilder Times. If you've got any follow up questions to that? Good seeing you go toe to toe with Jeff Garland. Thanks, Ellen. Here's a good one from Samarole. Sorry if I get that wrong, Samarole 33. David, before you go, could you give a person a single piece of advice that would change their perspective in life?
Yes, read the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And also listen to On Writing by Stephen King. And I say listen to because you can read the book, or also the audiobook is narrated by Stephen King, and it is delicious.
That's great advice there. Brendan, throwing this one at your way. David, 2 words. Norm Macdonald. What comes to mind?
God bless.
Great question there, Brendan. Will Ferrell, how would you describe working with Will?
The best.
Hey, that's a good one. Ellen's just
Brendan,
good question.
Still doing 2 words.
I love the book by Malcolm Gladwell, Nightly Crypto. Thanks for that one. That's a really good one. Someone who wants to be in Hollywood right now, starting out as an actor, what sort of advice would you give them?
So that's, again, they want to come to Hollywood? No. Prove yourself wherever you are. So I'm assuming this is an actor asking, correct? So
I would
get on stage every night, every night, every night, every night. Prove it, prove it, prove it. Prove it to the audience. Prove it to everybody. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to your family. Prove it to your friends. Prove it to strangers. Prove it, prove it, prove it. On stage, on stage, on stage is undeniable. Then you know. Then you know. Then you know you are the best. On stage, when you're on stage and the best, and you know it, and everybody comes up to you and says, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. Again, again, again. Then come to LA. But before then, do not.
Follow up as well. I think it was Mike who asked that question. Follow up that too. Any follow up from that? We've got the DZK. Hey man, wrap it up. Okay. That. What was your relationship?
What's his name?
What was your,
Fuck you. Okay.
What was your relationship with Rainn Wilson?
Rainn and I, you know what? I love Rainn, and Rainn loves me. He and I have had several lunches and dinners, and we both agreed that you know what, we're good friends, and it's easy.
And what the other castmates that you've worked with? I mean, is there a story you could perhaps share this maybe about
Yes.
either working with Will Ferrell, Adam McKay,
Well, no,
someone
I'll talk about The Office for a minute. I've known Kate Flannery for 30 years. So Kate, who's Meredith on the show, I've known her for 30 years. And so that's one. Two is Steve Carell got me the job on The Office. The character is based on the British version of The Office. The character is Finchy. So they were having a difficult time casting Todd Packer. I happened to be out of town shooting Snakes on a Plane, and they couldn't cast Finchy. No, I'm sorry, Packer. And so this is the first season. I think it's episode 1 or 2 or 3. 2 or 3. And then Carell says, how about Koechner? And so they brought me in. And that's how it happened.
That's an easy way to get it. That's a good way when Steve Carell puts you
like
forward.
Steve and I have known each other since 1990. So, you know, he's like, fucking Koechner's an asshole. Why not him?
I think that's a great endorsement when Steve can just say, hey, he can play the asshole really well. Couple more questions, guys. I think we've got about 2 minutes before we'll let David go. Really excited, obviously. Can you share a great story about shooting Reboot Camp as well? Maybe one of the takes you did, or just something that happened on set.
I will say Reboot Camp was a whirlwind. You come in, there's no script. There's kind of almost Curb Your Enthusiasm, loose idea of here's what I want you to do, which is complete freedom. And then when you arrive there, you're also met with the idea of like, no, for real. You're free to do what you want. And I will offer light guidelines or guardrails. And so it's just fun. So please come. So it's like, if someone invites you to a place to have artistic, creative fun, comedy fun, that's what it's like.
Well, I was going to say, it shows up on screen because you guys just look like you were having fun the whole time when the episodes.
When I saw it, I couldn't remember everything we did. And then I saw what they used. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You know, I looked at it like, I guess I remember, right? We were just allowed to fuck around. If I can say that on your profound show.
It's a live show.
Fuck
so
around.
We can't.
Come on
now,
now, let's fuck around. For all you 12-year-olds, you've never heard that word.
I got to be honest with you, David. These questions just piling up. I'm going to try and race through as many as I can because you've got a lot of admirers out there. We got a really famous Australian actor, Mr. Gary is in. He's asked, who's the funniest Australian you've ever worked with? The funniest Australian.
There have been a few. So I worked with Koechner in a show called, I can't remember, in 2004. Koechner. That's the only Australian actor I've worked with. And we had a fun time.
And he was the funniest?
Of course, he's the only one.
What was your favorite episode of The Office?
I've never watched it.
Okay,
I guess anyone that I'm in.
Okay, great answers. Who's your favorite character on Reboot Camp?
David Lipper.
Okay, the actor. He's the actor. I'm just having a look here. Yahoo Serious. Have you worked with Yahoo Serious? That was Willie.
Pass.
That's not gonna. David, if we ever meet again, you owe me a drink after. That's from somewhere else.
Let's have a couple of sparkling waters. Yes.
Okay. Can't wait to see Reboot Camp. Thanks very much, the Wilder Times. Guys, one more question or two more questions, and then we'll let David go. It's been a fantastic chat. Like I said, we have the mobile NFT event in a day and a half. You can bid on David's NFT from Reboot Camp, along with some of the other cast members, and the official Reboot Camp premiere, Cine Lounge, on the 21st in Hollywood. Favorite sports team? Nightly Cryptos put that one in. David, who's your favorite sports team?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Awesome. Okay. Oh my God, it's David. Thanks, David. You're the best. Thanks, Marissa. What's your favorite
Oh,
Office episode? David said he hasn't seen The Office. Are you on the toilet? That's Willie. Can we drink apple juice? It's okay. Love you, Dave. You're an icon and a gentleman. That's the very Australian Mr. Gurry.
I agree with these terms. Yes.
Okay, Chief. Another quick one came in. David, what are you working on next?
I'm doing the Goldbergs currently. Here's a couple things. So November, a movie called National Championship comes out. It's a drama. And then this Christmas, I took a small part in a movie called How the Bitch Stole Christmas. It's a drag queen movie, and I fucking love it.
And when does that one come out?
Who knows? Christmas time, I guess.
Okay, I'm loving I love the live this year, David. This has been a really good interview. It's completely live. It's great. Are you a producer at all?
If I have to.
Okay, David, please let me do a psychic medium reading one day, please. Would love to.
Okay. How about now? Because I don't know who I am.
Okay, so we're having a look here. Just have a look. Keep it real. There's a lot of really great things. You're a beautiful person inside and out. I love you. Continue being you. It's a really nice comment that's come through.
That also sounds kind of like, demanding, but okay.
Okay, I would take it. I'm just looking here. Let me have a quick look. Guys, 30 seconds. Otherwise, we'll have to let David go. Dave, is there anything you'd like to say? Any shout outs or anything you'd like to sort of mention? NFT Moguls, Reboot Camp, your career, anything?
Check out Reboot Camp. You'll find it online. You're gonna express where they can find it after we're off the show. You'll tell them where they can find Reboot Camp. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's
it's streaming now. You can find it. You're going to reiterate where they can find it. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, and
Yes.
as well, guys, moguLproductions.com will lead you into where you can go for the NFT auctions.
We have all had a rare shared experience tonight, and
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Your friend David Lipper's just popped up. He wanted to ask a question. Of course, David. We'll take David Lipper. He's the star of Reboot Camp. How was working with Ed Begley Jr. in Reboot Camp?
Oh my God! I mean, David will also echo this. It's so easy to love Ed Begley Jr. You know what? I mean, he's rare. So you know what? To be honest, I've worked with a lot of people in Hollywood, and Ed Begley Jr., God damn it, the best. The best.
And why is that? What really
I also worked with Ed on a show called Bless This Mess. And he is a brother, father, mother, sister, daughter to me. He's a unique talent. He's a rare, soulful being. He's an angel. And you recognize when you're meeting an angel, and you meet an angel and you walk away and go, oh shit, I met an angel. And the next day you go, oh shit, I'm working with the angel again. And it's Ed Begley Jr. So that's that.
Yeah, and I think David Lippers just jumped in and said he agrees twice. I think, again, very, very, very funny in Reboot Camp as well. Very dry and serious too.
You know what? My aspiration is to be Ed Begley Jr.
I think we should tell him that at the premiere. We should tell him. Liam Corey from G'day from Australia. There are a lot of Australians in the chat, David, which is great to see. I've got Canada. I saw someone come in from Brazil. Death of Some Salesman was awesome. Death of Some Salesman was awesome. Okay.
Death of Some Salesman. Which one? The one with Dustin Hoffman years ago that was recorded. Well, I should. You know what? One day maybe I'll do it as an old man.
I think you could play that. I think you could. I think
Thank you, sir.
Todd Packer could play that.
Directed by David Lipper.
Todd, there you go, David. Readings by Yankee. Can you imagine fun they had on?
Oh yeah, we had fun
on
every
Bliss the Mess with Des. Beeline Career, we're not from Australia, but we love some Koechner. Okay.
Questions, kids.
Okay. We need a David Lipper Funko Pop. David.
Dax Shepard is one of my favorite people to work with. Yes.
How I said 30 seconds like about 5 minutes ago, but let's just finish on that. Dax Shepard, working with him. Is there anyone else you want to sort of just give us an interesting story to leave the interview working with? I mentioned Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, John Krasinski, Ren Wilson.
Interesting story. All right, here's a story. So the first Anchorman, this is 2003 or 4. We'd worked for a week. And so this is 2004. Will was, had done, I think, some movie. He'd done, a bunch of SNL. So the rest of us were, whatever, not stars. And so myself, Carell, and Rudd, we had what they call a triple banger. So we're all in 3 rooms in one trailer. They're smaller.
Right.
And after the first week of shooting, we were all married, and we all got home and said to our wives, "I'm not keeping up. I don't know what to do. Everyone's better. Everyone's funnier." So I think we were all in Carell's little part of the trailer, and we're all relating the same story, which to me was like, oh, thank God we all feel the same way. And I guess we're all okay because we all are equally suited. And we all, look, I looked at everybody on the film as brilliant. So they're relating that story also meant they felt the same about me. And so, every day was just a fucking glory. Just a fucking glory.
There's great chemistry between all you guys.
It's true.
You've worked with these guys.
You know what the sad part is? We should have done 10 fucking movies. Me, Carell, Rudd, and what's the tall guy?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have done 10 fucking movies.
I'll tell you what,
not 10 Anchorman movies, 10 fucking movies.
Well, I'll tell you what, how about meet halfway? Reboot Camp 2. Bring these guys, cast them into Reboot Camp 2. You could meet. There you go.
If it was up to me.
Let's have a look, see what the chat likes. Well, David, it's been such a pleasure having a chat with you. For anyone that's just coming in now and wants to have a read, we'll put this up on the Instagram account. But also, you'll be able to see David at the premiere 21st for Reboot Camp in Hollywood, as well as the NFT event, which you can bid on David's NFT. Again, record-breaking for Hollywood. And also, David, anything you'd like to say on the way out?
You are a pleasure and a treasure.
I appreciate that. And everybody in the chats love this. Can't wait to see you at the premiere. Thank you so much for your time. And I'd love to get you back anytime to talk anytime you want. Let me know.
If you're in California, you have 1 hour to drop your ballot. Vote no on the recall.
And you have about a day and a half for the Mogul NFT event as well to start bidding. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. A pleasure.
David, take care. I'll talk to you soon. And thanks, guys, for watching.
Give it back.
I'll see you guys later.
No.
I get it.
No. Give it back.
I feel like this might actually. I'll give you a kiss like that. It landed on you.
Okay. Peace and love.
David, take care. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to coming up more Mogul, and also have a look at this interview with David Koechner. Great actor. Thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.